Jessica Eaves Mathews is here, and her book is out. It's called Wonder Women, How Western Women Will Save the World. And Jessica, it's great to have you. Congrats on the book.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, I think we had you, a few months back, but you've been pretty busy since we last saw you.
I have. It's been, my friends and family all kind of laugh at the pace I've been keeping, but it's been an amazing, amazing ride since we saw each other last.
Yeah.
And kind of pinching myself. And today is such a perfect day to be here because it's Women's Equality Day.
Yes.
And it's my birthday.
Oh, happy birthday!
Which is the perfect, I love that my birthday is the day that we got the vote for women and that my book is out, and it's just it's an incredible thing. So thank you for having me here today. This is a particularly great day.
It seems so almost ridiculous, but it was 1920 when women got the right to vote as a result of the, I have it in my notes, which amendment? Doesn't matter.
19th Amendment.
19th Amendment.
Yeah.
August 26, 1920.
Yeah.
It seems so silly that was even an argument.
I know, isn't it? I know.
But it was the times in which people lived in those days, and it took a long time to get
It's a mindset shift, and I think we're still struggling with it, which is a lot of the point behind the book is that we've come such a long way as women, and it's the first time in history that women are so well situated to really lead the economy, because we finally have sort of this, I call it the perfect storm in a good way, but we've got, experience and opportunity and education, all these things brought together. It's really the first time in history that women have had all of those things. So it's an incredibly exciting time to be a woman in our country. Yeah. And really in the western part of the world, frankly.
And it seems like a lot more women are kind of coming together to help each other as well.
No question. No question. I mean, there's some amazing organizations nationally that are doing this, and I'm actually launching one here locally called Hopepreneurs, which is a new, we call it the premier networking and peer support group for women entrepreneurs and women professionals. Because I think it's very important for women to be able to find a group of people that they can use as a resource and to support each other. And I think it's really, and men have had that for years. I mean, just naturally, culturally, men have had that. And so, it's great for women to come together and support each other. And
yeah, because for a while there was kind of, I mean, in some environments there is still this feeling, but of women kind of this competitive feel.
Definitely.
And it's kind of, because it is so difficult for women, still to this day, to get ahead in careers.
I mean, we're still not equal, right? Equality's not quite there yet. I mean, there's a lot of challenges that we're facing, and that's something we talk about in the book. We have a whole chapter dedicated to women supporting each other and not tearing each other down anymore, because I think we've been living in a way of doing business that is conducive to that competitive spirit. And the new economy is really going to be built on businesses that are more based in collaboration and cooperation, which women are really well suited for. And so if we can move into that way of thinking, businesses will thrive, but women will feel a little bit more comfortable in their own skin and can support each other as opposed to backstab each other, which unfortunately is the dark side of women's dynamics sometimes.
Can I ask you a little bit about your resume? You've started several businesses yourself, and you're still doing that.
I can't seem to stop.
You're a serial entrepreneur.
I am. I like to call myself a multi-passionate entrepreneur.
You just can't help yourself, can you?
I really can't. It's in my blood. I'm just wired to do it, and nothing makes me happier than coming up with ideas and executing them. I really enjoy that. So yeah, I've got a number of businesses in the works right now, things that are going to be getting off the ground this next fall. And it's just the way I'm wired. But my background is as a lawyer, but I'm very unlawyer-like. I think most people who know me would say that I'm very unlawyer-like, which I take as a compliment. So I just have so many ideas, and they're my babies, and I just can't not express them. I've got to get them out into the world. So I think it's just the way that I'm wired.
Yeah. And your book has now been out for about a week.
Yes.
What's it been like? What's that experience been like?
We did not expect the kind of reception that we got, and within the first 24 hours, we'd gone #1 bestseller in 5 separate categories.
Amazing.
And we were ahead of Lean In, Sheryl Sandberg's book, who's the COO of Facebook.
Yeah. Thank goodness for her. She kind of paved the ground for you.
Exactly. I know. Yeah, she's great. And that's a really interesting book. We actually talk about it a little bit in our book. But I love that there's this dialogue, right? I just love that that we're starting to have these conversations about how to be in the workplace as a woman professional. So it's really great. But we're so grateful. We've had amazing support and reception from the book, and it's sort of taking on a life of its own. So it's been, I just feel really fortunate, really grateful.
Yeah. So is this woman targeted to women? I mean, is this book, did I say is this women?
Yes.
Is this book targeted towards women, or, I mean, is this a good read for anybody?
Actually, it's a great read for both, because I think that it's going to give people an understanding of where the economy is headed and where business has to evolve in order for us to have real sustainable growth again in our economy. I think that we learned in 2008 that the old way of doing business is really broken, right? The sort of, we call it the Machiavelli way of doing business, the I win by you losing. You know, I don't want to just win, I want to crush you in the process kind of mindset.
That dominance thing.
The Donald Trump, you know, way of doing business is really not working. And so there has to be another way. And we see there are companies out there that are building their businesses on having integrity and leaving a legacy beyond themselves, like Zappos and Tom's Shoes and, you know, Stella and Dot, and, you know, even big fashion designers like Tory Burch have these foundations where they're giving back. And I think that's really the future of the economy, is that sort of more global, do good while you do well mindset.
Right.
And I think
this has got to be the fastest growing entrepreneurial demographic, is women starting businesses. I mean, I don't know the numbers, but you can just feel it. You can just see what's going on around you.
I mean, there's a ton of studies that are out there. We actually talk about them in the book, but women are starting businesses at quite a rapid rate beyond those of men, and those businesses are actually growing faster. The statistics are amazing to see what's starting to happen for women entrepreneurs. And so it's just a really exciting time to be a woman entrepreneur or to work for a woman entrepreneur, because I just think that everything is changing, and I think the opportunities are incredible right now.
Where does the whole family thing fit in to the scenario? Because this is what women do too.
Yeah. You mean as far as balance?
Yes, and balance.
Well, and it's something we talk about in the book, because the old way of doing business is sort of, you know, as a woman, you leave 80% of who you are at the door every morning just to get ahead, right? And you don't want to get marginalized by being on the mommy track or something if you want to have a sustainable career. Well, in the new economy, that's not necessary. And in fact, if you bring your whole self to what you do, you're going to be more successful. And women, part of the reason so many women are starting businesses is because they are tired of leaving 80% of who they are at the door. And they want to be able to have families and talk about it and be there for their kids and have a lot more balance in their lives. And so we actually talk about how you build a business that takes into consideration first and foremost who you are at your core, and how you preserve that as you're building your company, so that you don't become a slave to your company serves your life as opposed to the other way around.
I think that right there is probably one of the most difficult things that women in business have an issue with. I mean, it's just so difficult to get that balance.
It is. It's really hard. And the old way of doing business didn't support it at all, right? Because when you think about it, we're talking about women just getting the vote in the 20s. I mean, the old way of doing business was the women stayed home and the men went to work. And so the men had this great support system because they had someone at home cooking and cleaning and raising the children. And it's just changed. It's changed for everyone. And you were asking, Erin, if the book is just for women, but it's not. I mean, this really is for, because men are going to have to function in this new economy as well. And I'm meeting more and more men that don't want to do business the old way either. They want to have more balance, and they want to leave a legacy and do things that are beyond themselves. So the book really is not just for women. It's for both men and women. We say evolved men. That's what we
there we
say.
It's a good way to put it.
Well, this is wonderful. We've been showing the website and everything, and people need to check it out. And you're from here, or
I am. Yeah, I'm from here. In fact, my family's many generations back. A lot of entrepreneurs in my family, and I went away for a while and lived in Seattle, but I came back 4 years ago, and very committed to helping New Mexico move forward as a center for entrepreneurship and innovation. So I'm very involved in several organizations here that are committed to that. So very proud to be here, proud to be a New Mexican.
We always say there's a lot of local talent here that's just
incredible,
and you're a great example of that.